Hey, babe, welcome back to the Turn On Woman podcast. I am your host, Lauren, and I am so stoked that you're here because this is the space where you learn how to turn on your energy. This is the space where you remember the woman that you were always meant to be. You are so mother effing powerful as a woman that we are turning that energy back on because there's a little thing called society and its standards and its expectations and all of the things that make us suppress who we really are. And this is the healing journey for you to come back to yourself, for you to remember yourself. You are already whole. And also, we live in this beautiful reality where you get to create what is possible for you. So today I really want to talk about being the creator of your reality, which means that you get to manifest the man and the relationship that you desire. And that's exactly what I did on my journey. If you've been here on the podcast, or you can go back to the old episodes, but basically the highlights are that, and I want you to see if you resonate with this or any part of this. I was single at 30, got out of a long-term relationship that to me just didn't feel right. I was just like, this is fine, but I know there's something more. And that is such a feminine quality. We are tapped in to the void, the more, the creation. And I'm so glad I listened to that intuition because I was just like, something is not right here. And I knew that I was not even being the woman that I wanted to be. I was in a very safe relationship with a very kind man, but we were not challenging each other. We were not claiming what was possible. So here I am, single at 30, amicably broke up with this man because I knew there was something more, jumped right into a relationship, which was the opposite of who this man was. And then boom, blew up in my face. And I was like, what is happening? What is wrong with me? Why can I not keep a relationship? Why am I single at 30 years old when I thought I'd be married with kids on the way? And then boom, Joe Dispenza's work fell into my hands at the same time that I was working with my first coach. And my first coach helped me on my mindset, helped me to set my standards and my boundaries, helped me to see myself more, helped me build literally my self-awareness. Now, if you're listening to this, I'm sure you're probably all along, you're already far enough along on your journey to where you have built this level of self-awareness for who you are being. But it can really be hard to break our habits. Now, that brings me to Joe Dispenza's book, which is called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. This is breaking our patterns, our conditioning, what we believe is possible for us. And it was through that I realized, wow, I'm the creator. I'm in control here. And then it was a journey for me to truly take my energy under my own control, for me to change my habits so that I could shift my energy. And I want to talk to you today then about what manifestation actually is, because once I read that book, started putting the pieces together, a couple years later, not a couple, like a year later, I moved to Mexico. And then a year and a half after that, I actually met my boyfriend, who I've been with now for almost a year. We're in June of 2025. And this is actually on June 1st, literally yesterday, from when I'm recording this, was the first time that he texted me after we had our first initial encounter meeting each other. And it was funny because yesterday I was at his baseball game and I was like, oh my God, here we are. A year later, I'm at his baseball game from when he texted me. So fun just to see how life unfolds in that way. But here's the thing too. I met men along the way who were not aligned to me because they were still exposing and revealing, let's say, the parts of me that still needed to be healed. So I say that dating and relationships are always for growth, because change, growth, evolution, expansion are the reasons why we are even here on this earthly plane. It's actually wild because we are here as spiritual souls in a human body, but we are here for the change. And we are here for the evolution. We are here for the growth. We are here to become more, always. So we have desires because we're always desiring that version of ourselves who has that thing that we desire, whether that's a man, a relationship, a job, money. It's always going to require us to become a new version of ourselves. So when it comes down to it, this is what I want to talk about today, is that manifestation is actually about manifesting, which is also another word for creating, which is also another word for allowing. So those are all the same. I'm just going to say manifesting now. Manifesting is about creating the version of yourself, or you could say you're actually manifesting yourself, because you are simply just changing the version of you that you're becoming, the version of you who already has the desire. You're becoming the version of you that allows your desire into your life. That allowing is through energetic frequency, is through not lack, but through abundance. It's literally through being a match to the very desire that you have, to the love, the relationship, the security, the fun, the joy, all the things that come with relationship. And so through my own process, even last year, when I started the year off single, because I just gotten out of a relationship, I had to turn on my energy, alchemize my emotions from grief and sadness and like a little bit of loneliness into believing what was still possible for me. I was like, this is the year that I am going to meet my man. And I just chose to take on that belief. Now, part of that is because I was already coaching on dating and relationships. So I kind of like wanted to prove it to myself. But I learned so much along the way as far as, oh, wow, by the time I met my boyfriend, I didn't need him. Because when you don't need your desire to make you feel happy, when you don't need $1 million to feel happy, like when you're, you buy something new, you buy like some $5 glasses and they're like, you love them, or I don't know, you get your nails done and you're like, I feel like $1 million. You know what $1 million feels like then, because you just feel so happy, so fulfilled, so abundant. And we can create that experience for ourselves from the inside out. We can even do it without needing to get our nails done or without needing to buy something, because you actually don't need anything outside of you. It's all within you. You can actually create that I feel like $1 million literally by doing gratitude and appreciation. Because as Joe Dispenza says, that actually is the ultimate state of receivership. So I was literally manifesting my man last year because I was becoming the version of me who already had the man, who acted like I already had the relationship. Now, a big part of this too was being Delulu. I spent all of March, I ran a program called March Magnetism, where I was being Delulu, literally going on daily Delulu walks, acting as if the man was already mine. I would literally listen to affirmational songs because that was bringing up my energy. That was turning on my energy. I was not stuck in the sadness and the grief and the lack and the when and the where is the man. Because if a woman who already has her man and is in a relationship, she's not asking, when is he coming? She's not asking, why not me? She's not asking, how am I going to meet him? So that is when you put your focus back on yourself, back on your life. You no longer ask those questions because you're not focused on that. So there is such a thing as being too focused on the man. This is why when I coach women, we are always coming back to her and her thoughts and her beliefs and her emotions and what stories she's creating in her mind, and especially connecting her to her body. So I get women to prioritize themselves, to lean into their desire of how do they want to live their life on a day-to-day basis, what lights them up. One of the biggest things too is I get women to do something just for pleasure's sake. What are you doing that's just for fun, just for you? Is that a morning walk? Is that, could be anything, going to a women's circle. It could be going to a painting class. For me, for a while, I was going to salsa and then I actually met someone at salsa. It could be going to a yoga class, but like make the intention about it for it to be fun for you for no other reason. Now with the yoga example is a little like slippery slope because some people go to yoga for a workout and they're like, oh, if I don't do this, then I'm going to, not be on my workout regimen and whatever. Like the pleasure for pleasure's sake can have multiple benefits to it, but do it first and foremost because you love it, because you don't need anything from it. And that's some days at yoga, maybe you're just like, I just kind of want to lay here and like do a couple of stretches and like, I'll take some suggestions from the teacher. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, do it for you. It's something that you do for you when you're truly living your life. And I find most often that when I work with women and maybe they start dating someone, they still have all these questions and doubts and things because she's actually not truly focused on herself. She's still so hyper focused on the nitty gritty details of the relationship, as in she's literally not busy enough living her own life. Like that is the key to a fulfilling relationship, is making sure that you have your own life on lock. Make sure you have your own life set up for yourself. Because if not, what happens chronically is that you just want the relationship so that it fulfills a void. The idea of turning on your energy, of becoming the woman who has the fulfilling and loving relationship, is a woman who doesn't need to fill a void. So we fill those voids first and foremost. You fall back in love with your own life. You fall back in love with yourself because from a young age, we actually abandon ourselves. And this is where so many of our survival and safety mechanisms come from, where women are living out of survival mode, keeping themselves safe, not even allowing themselves to be seen by a man or to approach a man or to invite a man into her space, because she's either like living by some rules that don't pertain to her, or she just literally can't, like the anxiousness that she's holding in her body because of fear of what he's going to think or what's going to happen, fear of rejection, rather than just allowing it to be a gesture of connection. And if he's not down for that, then that's okay. All right, see you later. I'm going to go back to what I was doing. My life doesn't change like that. I was inviting you to be the cherry on top of my already amazing life. And that's something I say all the time, is the man is the cherry on top. And another great thing that I heard that recently that I was just like, yes, that's so much, is that a conscious relationship is conscious because it's a choice. You're choosing to be in that relationship. And I fully believe that love is a choice. Love is a choice because you're choosing to be in relation to the man who is loving you, who at the same time is going to expose your own limitations, your beliefs about yourself. It's like your shadow side that is going to come up. The man is going to trigger you on purpose so that you can wake up to what is still stuck inside of you, what needs to be integrated, what needs to be alchemized. It's these stories that live underneath our emotions. It's these beliefs are also part of the story. Okay, so why do I believe that? Why do I keep telling myself that? What is it that I'm now going to believe instead? And another great thing, just to tie this all together too, is that there's that saying of no one's coming to save you. You have to save yourself, which is true. But also, there's another nice way to look at it, is that because we live in a mirroring universe, actually everyone that comes into your life is here to save you. So whether that is a difficult relationship with your mother or your father, whether that is an ex-boyfriend, whether that could be someone you can't stand right now who's living with you. I don't know. It could be any number of things. It could be a boss as well. But everyone is here to wake you up and reflect yourself back to you. As in, if you don't like what they are doing, then like, what are you making it mean? Who are you being in response to that person? Because you always have a choice. And so when we become more aware of, if I actually thought that I was like fully worthy and deserving of, let's say, this high promotion or whatever it is, just to get out of a relationship example, it's like, I actually wouldn't stay in the office, I don't know, till 8 p.m. Like, you would change who you are being. You would not sacrifice yourself. You would not, again, self-abandon to get someone to like you or to think that you need to do something to earn someone's approval. This is always coming back to yourself and your wholeness of what you are worthy and deserving of right now. So again, manifesting the relationship that you desire is creating the version of yourself who already has it. So there's two ways too that I like to tell my clients to act as if. Act as if the man is already yours, because that's a large part in turning on your energy, is to already be in the energy of the woman who has the relationship. And part of that was Delulu. So I'm going to get into the two pieces here. One part, well, the first piece is proactive, being proactively in the energy of your desire. Now, remember, it's not the man in the relationship that you want, it's the experience of it. And you want the experience of it, which is also an emotion that you want to feel, because it's going to feel good. And so you get to be then the version of you who experiences that on a daily basis. So the feeling good experience of a relationship is love, is joy, is affection, is play, is curiosity, is adventure, whatever else it is. Security, safety. So you get to then proactively, to act as if you get to proactively do things in your life that make you feel those emotions. So whatever makes you feel, what makes you feel secure? I know for me, validating myself and like telling myself that I look good and allowing myself to express in ways that just felt authentic to me and stopping caring what other people thought. I was like, boom, that's building my security. Also another security thing, I love snuggling under like a really fuzzy blanket. And I'm just like, oh, I just feel so like cuddled and cared for. And, you know, like I have like a hot tea. And that to me feels really freaking good. And so that's also a beautiful way to get into that emotion. And then you can do anything else that like you love. Like what is it that you love or you feel loved doing? Do you, I don't know, like to care for someone in your life? I don't know, bring them flowers, write them a card, call them, maybe pet your pet even. Like you can feel the love from any kind of pet that you have. So, or taking yourself on an adventure. Do you like to go hiking? Do you like to explore your city? Do you like to take yourself out on single dates? Like something, maybe you're like, ooh, I don't know if I love going out on dates by myself, but like it kind of sounds like a little fun, a little frisky. Like that is a good energy to be in. So you figure out what are those things that are going to close the gap, because there's an energetic gap between where you are and being in the energy of your manifestation, of the man, of your desire. So you have to take on that energy and you start to practice that energy. So another way that I would practice this is like I would proactively leave the house and say, men love me and protect me and provide for me. That was like a mantra that I had. I would go on my daily Delulu walks. I was getting into the energy. I was taking myself to salsa classes. I was doing some new community events and things that I liked to do just to meet people, just to get out there, just to like have fun and be seen. So doing those things are going to be a proactive way that you get into the energy. Now, a reactive way is asking yourself, would I be comparing myself to my friends who have relationships and they're already married? And would I be feeling bad about myself right now if I already had a relationship? So no, that's a reactive way. You're catching yourself in that emotion. You are reacting because you're comparing yourself to your friends who are already married and having babies and all the things. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm behind. Would the woman who has a relationship right now feel like she's behind? No, she wouldn't. So you have to be the version of you. And this is the hardest piece, I feel like, is because there are so many stories running subconsciously that this is where when I communicate with my clients, we do like one-to-one messaging. When I communicate with them on a daily basis and they bring in what they're feeling, they bring in what is going on in their lives so that we can then sift through and figure out, okay, where is this coming from? What is the root of this? Where is the belief under this? Why are you feeling this way? Would you be feeling this way if you had the relationship? And then we switch it, we flip it. I call it like reality flipping. We flip your reality and we get you in the new reality because you have to be in the reality. Also, Neville Goddard calls this living in the end. You have to be in the end in order to actually manifest the thing that you want. Because when you match it, it comes into your life. So like I said, I was going on my daily Delulu walks. I even had a song that I would listen to. It's like that, ooh, baby. It's called Heaven is a Place on Earth. That's it. I don't need to sing it for you. And that was my song, because I was like, if you listen to the lyrics in that song, I'm like, oh my God, this song was ahead of its time. Heaven is a place on earth. It is, because we are all creating our own heaven on earth when we are turning on our energy, when we are no longer in lack and in survival, when we realize that, oh wow, I'm the creator and the creation. Because the very thing that I'm creating is me. The very thing that I'm manifesting is the version of me. So you get to change who you are being. You get to change how you act and how you feel. Well, first it goes with feel. Feel, do, act, have, result. So when you change how you feel, you change your energy. That's who you are being. That's how you identify. Your feeling comes from that level of identity, your thoughts and your beliefs, your self-concept. This is a lot of mindset stuff. And I don't want you to always live in your mind. I want you to feel more so who that version of you is. But we need often like to connect the mind and the heart, because it's like the heart comes first. There's like a heart-brain coherence that happens. If you're into Joe Dispenza's work, you know. And I also have a friend here who is really into heart-brain coherence. But we feel in our heart this wholeness and the love that we know we are. We know that we are love at our core. That is what we were coming back to. So when we love ourselves and we tell ourselves then, because we know we are love, we tell ourselves, okay, I'm worthy and deserving of everything that I desire. Everything that I desire desires me back. Of course I'm love. I'm becoming more love. I'm becoming more wholeness. If I loved myself, would I be comparing myself to someone else, or would I be honoring the path that I am on? Would I tell myself I'm exactly where I need to be? It's going to be okay. Yes, that's the version of you that you would be. So when we have this heart-brain coherence, we are then thinking and feeling. There's a thinking and feeling loop that's always going on. You think and you feel, and you feel and you think. You think and you feel, and you feel and you think, over and over and over again. That's why when we go down, when we spiral, we are just continuing to think thoughts in the same frequency. So if you're spiraling downward, comparing yourself to another woman, well, then you're getting yourself down a path that is not going to serve you in reaching your manifestation, which is why it's really helpful to work with a coach who knows how to get you out of those kinds of spirals. So you want to be thinking and feeling in your favor towards your desire. So I help my clients reality flip so that you can feel the way you want to feel. And when you feel that way, when you get that momentum going and you're thinking and you're feeling towards your desire, then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm going to take like action. Like I love myself so much that I'm going to take myself out to dinner, or I'm going to walk out of the house and be Delulu and say men love me and protect me and provide for me. And you're going to continue to feel good. And then, boom, you match the resonance of your desire. And you'll know that when the man comes into your life. But the kicker is that men don't come prepackaged. They're not perfect, because you're not perfect either. Everyone's on their own path. So when you start dating a man, it's up to you to discern, like, okay, is this a match? Are we on the same page about things? Is he being self-aware just like I'm being self-aware? Is he believing in the possibility like I'm believing in the possibility? Because thing is either you'll meet your man, or you'll meet the man that is going to show you. It's a gift. This is literally a gift. He's going to show you the parts of you that you still need to integrate. So for instance, like when I was with the man before my current boyfriend, and he could not tell me from the beginning that he wanted to have a family and kids and build a life with someone, because he'd already done that. He'd been divorced, he'd had kids. And I was like, okay, well, if you don't know that, then I also don't know that I want to like be dating you. So we dated for a little bit, and then it was like very clear, like, okay, no. But then I continued to kind of like let things drag out for a little bit. And then we finally ended things at the end of the year, and I just was like, no. And then when I walked away, it was like, oh my gosh, I've realized, because I live in Mexico, so this was like a perfectly divine assignment for me. Everyone has their own divine assignments. I realized that I was still playing out the same story that I did not want to be playing out that my mother had, that I need a man to feel safe and secure. I need a man to belong. And because he was Mexican and I thought I wanted to be with a Mexican man, I found my own belonging in dating him. And like, sure, he was like a nice guy and everything. But again, like, I don't know, he kind of showed me his true colors through like us separating and going our own ways. He had his own issues. So like everyone's got their own things going on. So no one's to blame, but I did learn a lesson and I'm so happy that I did, because then by the time I integrated that lesson of like, okay, wow, I don't need a man to feel worthy and secure. Like I literally found my own power within that, within the grief. I was like, wow, I really found the depth of my power, because I found the depth of my grief. And I was like, if there's so much grief here, there also can be so much pleasure. And it was through that I really let go of, I don't need a man. I actually just desire a man who wants the same things that I want, who wants to build a life with me, who would be so excited to have kids with me. And lo and behold, that is exactly what I found. And I did not know if it would be, you know, the man that I started dating a year ago. I didn't know it would be him, but I felt into it because every step along the way, because I knew then that I was getting into dating him. I started dating him knowing that, well, at the very least, this is going to be for my own growth. This is either going to show me something, or we'll be on the path together to showing ourselves who we truly are, what we are truly meant for, and we'll grow together. Like, we do have conflict, but we know how to resolve conflict, and that'll be a whole nother podcast that I can do. But it is knowing that the man that you desire is possible, but then also going into dating and being like, oh, okay, are we on the same page? How much are we on the same page? Are we going to grow together? Is he taking responsibility for who he is? Because the one thing I can say is that you need to be taking responsibility for who you are as a woman. And that will also inspire him to take responsibility for who he is being. Now, you don't need to mother him and like show him and tell him and all these things. It's like, that's exhausting. But you will inspire a man by who you are being. And the more that you can show up for yourself and your own life and literally prioritize yourself and the things that make you happy, and allow him to be the cherry on top, not to be a layer in your cake. You are responsible for the cake of your own life. He's the cherry on top. He adds to your life because you are always responsible for your own cake. You're responsible for the layers. You will not only inspire the man for how he can treat himself, but also you're showing him how you want to be treated. And then it's time to take note of like, okay, is this going in the direction that I want? Are we growing together? Are we opening up in different ways together? So that you can know, okay, cool. Like, I'll keep dating you. But if not, then it's like, hey, like this isn't working out for me. Or it's definitely voicing your desires and your needs that you have from the beginning as well. And the things that you want in your life. Like you want a family, or you want a nomadic lifestyle, or you want, you really want to like work really hard with someone and like, challenge each other, and you want to like be able to take like month or 2 month long vacations. Maybe you'll meet someone like that. Even if you both have like regular jobs, it doesn't matter because there are endless possibilities. And also keep in mind that like life always changes. Things always change. So even if you don't have what you want at the beginning, like as long as you two are on the same page and have the same goals in mind, like things can definitely go in your favor because again, you are the one manifesting and creating it. So get him on the Delulu train with you. That's what my boyfriend and I do. We both get on the Delulu train about what is possible. Okay. I hope by now you are starting to see that manifesting is becoming the version of yourself who already has what you want. That version of you is not in lack, is not in need. That version of you is so fulfilled with your own life that you are actually the woman, because you already have become the woman who has the desire. She's acting as if. So then there's no separation in frequency. It's like, oh yeah, I am being loved a majority of the time. This is something I teach in She Who Receives as well. No, Ready to Receive. Ready to Receive is available on my Linktree. And it is about energetic Dominance. Dominance? Yeah, you have to have a dominant energy in love over fear, in love over lack, or in abundance over lack. You need dominance. So the more that we practice, the more that you get to Lulu, the more that you show up for yourself, the more that you alchemize your emotions, the more that you take a look at your stories and beliefs and your subconscious beliefs that could be living, with that you're operating by. That is, the more that you practice what it is that you want to be living, how you want to be feeling, the quieter and quieter the old story, the old identity gets. So again, dominant. We're going for dominant frequency, dominant vibration of love and abundance. Because you're still going to catch yourself and you're going to be like, oh, ooh, like, was I coming from a place of like dominance was I coming from a place of love or fear, lack or abundance? Because again, this is to catch yourself in that reactive. Oh, shoot, I was comparing myself to my friends again. Wait, I don't want to do that because I'm choosing to believe that I'm always right on time. I'm choosing to believe that I'm always available for the love that wants me as well. So it's catching yourself. The quicker you can catch it, this is like the bounce back rate. The quicker you can catch it, the quicker you shift your energy. And that is what I love so much about the coaching that I do, is because boom, my clients are right there. We're in Telegram, we're voice messaging each other, real time, boom, shifted. You're not waiting a whole week for another call. We do calls, but it's like same day, or if not same day, like shortly the next day. So you can also practice this yourself. But if you want to manifest faster, like get yourself some support. Get yourself someone who lives the things that you want. Get yourself someone who preaches and teaches the things that you like learning. Like if you resonate with Joe Dispenza, Neville Goddard, Abraham Hicks, Bashar, all the things. If you like talking about self-concept and manifestation, all of that, find the right support for you, because your man is just a few energetic shifts away. When you practice that energy, the energetics, you are then closing the gap between where you are and the desire, the man that you are receiving. You are available to receive. The man that you want to receive. All right, my love, that is what I have for you for today. To believe in manifestation, absolutely. It's not just a fluffy thing, but know what manifestation is. It's not just a vision board. Manifestation is about becoming the version of you, or creating, or you could also call it remembering the version of you who already has it. And I even have a free training called The Man Is Already Yours, which talks all about this energetic gap, and it talks about what your energy is made of. What is made of your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your connection to your body, which is your nervous system, all of that. Okay, so you can check that out too. But manifestation is real. You're manifesting all day, every day. You're attracting all day, every day, because you're always choosing who you are being. Sometimes it's more conscious, sometimes it's more subconscious, which is why we need to practice, why we need to be self-aware, why we need to keep our desires top of mind, why we need to be familiar with the experience that we would be having if we already had our desire. So would you be anxious and comparing yourself and doom scrolling if you already had the man? Probably not. That's not the version of you who you would be. So you need to have the discipline, or rather the devotion, a little bit more feminine there, the devotion to be that woman. To be that woman so that you can receive the man, the relationship that you desire. All right, my love. Until next time, keep turning on your energy. The man is just energetic shifts away, and I'm sending you so much love.